Welcome to a brief overview of the anatomy of an Aavegotchi. If you're completely new and you're like, what on earth is an Aavegotchi? I encourage you to check out their official website. The wiki page is incredible, and I'm sure you're going to find all the answers to your questions on that site. As well, join the Discord chat. The guys from Aavegotchi, the friends, are incredibly helpful, and they are more than ready to answer any questions that you might still have. What we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at the NFTs, so the Aavegotchi itself and how it is made up, what are the different key components, and you can already see we're going to be looking at the DeFi collateral stake first, and the different traits, the variables, as well as then conclude with how that all plays together into the rarity score. So let's get started. Starting with DeFi collateral stake. So the center of the head, as you can see down here, for example, lend, link, or synthetics, is representative of the DeFi collateral acquired through staking this particular currency on the Aave network. And what you then get are A tokens, which are in turn used to buy portals, and then depending on what currency you use, what A token you used, the Aavegotchi will have a different symbol. So for example, you have the diamond shape, that means you would have used link to buy this particular Aavegotchi. It's pretty much already all that's to say about the DeFi collateral stake. Just have a look at the different symbols and the different options on the actual official website. The next, we're going to look at the different traits. Traits consist of 3 components: random traits, kingship, as well as experience. Let's have a look at random traits first. Random traits are really just a set of random traits that every Aavegotchi gets when they come through the portal. And you can see on the left side here that includes energy, aggressiveness, spookiness, brain size, eye shape, and eye color. And on the right side, all the different traits are listed from mythical to rare, uncommon, common, and then up again. I'm not going to get into the mathematics behind all of this. It's important for you to know that all of those are actual features on the Aavegotchi that you'll see. For example, the eye color might be brown or blue, depending on what kind of rarity level it is. So a lot of the Aavegotchis are going to look different dependent on what the random traits are that they've been given by birth. As next, we're going to look at kingship. Kingship is a non-random value that is given to an Aavegotchi at birth, and it increases the longer the owner holds the Aavegotchi and the more frequently they interact with it. So it's not just a random thing. You, as an owner of an Aavegotchi, actually have control over its value. The longer you hold it and the more you interact with it, the more valuable, or the more valuable this kingship actually becomes. As next, we're going to look at experience. For all the gamers out there, you would already know this concept. An Aavegotchi can actually level up by participating in votes and playing mini games. And it's a really cool thing. Every few levels, the Aavegotchi actually receives a spirit point, which then can be used to increase or decrease the value of a random trait. So even though random traits are given by birth, they can still be influenced later on through actually participating in the community and within the different projects. So those are the different traits made up of random traits, kingship, and experience. We're going to come back to them briefly at the end on the rarity part. Next, we're going to look at the variable NFTs. Aavegotchis also, apart from being an ERC20 token, they also have the ERC998 standard, which allows to attach NFTs to the NFTs. So it's like NFTs children, basically, that can be attached to the Aavegotchi, which in that case are clothes, hats, swords, etc. Just anything you can attach or wear. Variables can increase or decrease certain traits. So for example, a sword might make the aggressive value go up, whereas a Bob Marley shirt might decrease the energy levels. A brief example from a recent raffle would be here, you can see the different variables that were available in that particular raffle. Make sure to, when you subscribe to the Discord channel, they always announce new raffles to take part in. It's always a fun little project and a fun thing to be part of. That's all there is to say about variables. Now let's have a brief talk about how that gets together, or how that comes together in the rarity score. Rarity score of an Aavegotchi is calculated through the base rarity score plus the absolute rarity score. The base rarity score are all the traits that we talked about plus the variables. So part of that is going to be random, but part of that actually you can influence through the experience, through the kinship, and through the variables. Plus, and this is one of the things I was most excited about when I heard about the concept, plus the absolute rarity score. And that's the rarity compared to the frequency of a particular trait or variable within the entire Aavegotchi metaverse. So for example, if you own an Aavegotchi that has a common trait by definition, but no one else in the entire metaverse has it, then that still counts as a lot, then that's still rare. So partially, the different traits will have an inherent rarity level, but also if that particular trait does not exist a lot of times within the metaverse, it becomes more rare as well. For all the gamers out there, you would know if there has ever been a weapon or a particular piece of clothing, like a cloak or anything that was incredibly powerful, after a while everyone's just walking around with this particular item. So that kind of stirs against that trend and makes the whole experience more exciting. That's pretty much it on the anatomy of an Aavegotchi. I hope you learned something. Just remember the DeFi collateral, the traits, the variables, that's all actually displayed on the Aavegotchi and makes up the rarity score. Stay friendly and have fun on the network.